Hey everybody, it's Casey Williams. For decades, most automotive enthusiasts would tell you the Mercedes S-Class was the best car in the world. It was the chosen vehicle for business leaders, world leaders, and celebrities too. But recently its place at the top has been under threat from cars like the Tesla Model S and the Lucid Air. And to regain its status and to ensure it stays there, Mercedes has been introducing a whole range of electric cars, including the EQS we have here. And what I really like about this one, this is the longer range version. The EQS 450 Plus. Let's go have a look at it. Pretty much everything about the 450 Plus has been designed to extend its range. That goes from being just a rear drive vehicle, no all-wheel drive, to the shape of it. And I don't know that I think it's a particularly distinctive shape as far as past S-Classes go. Keeping in mind, past ones had the big chrome grills and star on the hood and had a lot of gravitas when you pulled up somewhere. But I do like the shape, and it's really growing on me. It's an elegant shape, it's very aerodynamic, very sleek, and it really lends to a very quiet driving experience as well. So, really starting on the front, big flat panel. Mercedes is using these on their EVs. Again, there's really not a need for a grille because it's an electric car. So it really is just about optimizing aerodynamics and airflow over the car. If you wanted a more traditional grille with the stand-up ornament, that's going to come next year. So they're here listening to their customers. They want the car to be a little more distinctive, a little more like the historic S-Classes. That's coming. LED headlamps, the 21-inch alloy wheels, AMG wheels on this car. But it's really a very sleek car. And when you drive it and you ride in it, it's a big car. But it looks long, but it doesn't look like a big car. Its size is pretty well diminished. And again, it's probably because it's just pretty low and big, huge wheels and looks really good. The design idiom at Mercedes these days is, if you can take off a piece of chrome, you can take off a line and the car still looks good, remove it. And I think it's really a design idiom that works very well in the modern age. So come around the back. Love this fastback profile. Again, very sleek, very cool, but also contributes to aerodynamics. Tiny little lip spoiler back here. And unlike past S-Classes, this one's pretty practical. Very easy for your chauffeur to get their luggage in here or to get your bicycle in here if you want to. Back seats, split fold, so you can load from here all the way to the back of the front seats. Nice storage space, well carpeted, very, very exclusive as you expect. Under the floor, a little more storage. A couple of the pillows are in here right now. The tire inflators back here, and also a place to put your charging cables. But overall, a very elegant car and also very practical. Mercedes designers did a phenomenal job of blending high-class materials, woods, and leathers with a look and feel and technology you'd expect in the EV age. Again, the traditional feel, really beautiful leather, smells delicious when you get in here. The dark walnut wood here on the console, also on the doors. Just everything looks beautiful. The stitch coverings here on the dash. So it is what you expect out of an S-Class. You expect every detail to be absolutely thoroughly done, and that's absolutely true in this car. But this is a next generation electric car, and you should expect next generation electronics and design and features here as well. It starts with the hyperscreen. From literally pillar to pillar on the dash is glass. Flat screen instrument cluster. The main touchscreen here, you can wirelessly connect your phones and devices through Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You got wireless phone charging here in the console as well. Phone's here, just throw it in the garage and leave it. You got automatic climate control. You got 4-zone automatic climate control, one for each of the 2 front seats and for the back seats. So lots of technology there as well. And then your passenger can also help you. They can help navigate. So pretty much redundant controls, easy to swipe through them. Phone connections, navigation, radio, media, all that stuff you can go through here. So the driver has a partner, has an actual navigator, and actually has a friend who can help them through traffic. So I really like the way it sets up. It looks complicated. After a few minutes in the car, it's really not that hard. Some other things I really like. Some comforts. It's a Mercedes again. You expect all of the features that will keep you very happy on a very long drive. These seats here, heated, ventilated, and massagers. And not just one massager, there's several different settings for anything you can imagine. You got the Burmester 3D audio system. Again, just beautifully integrated speakers on the doors. I love that a lot. The twin panel sunroof. And some other practical things too. Really deep storage here. Easy to get all your stuff in here. Down below, again, it's an electric car, so you got the Flybridge console. I have a small backpack that I carry my phone and my wallet and all that stuff in when I'm out hiking and traveling and doing things. That fits right here. If you have a purse, your purse will certainly fit here very easily. So a lot of practical space in here too. And of course, being a Mercedes-Benz, you expect it to be safe. It has a heads-up display, folds-up display that shows the speed, shows your safety systems, but also lots of active safety systems on this car too. Adaptive cruise, automatic emergency braking, active lane keep assist, so it nudges the steering, blind spot warning with active steering, so it nudges the steering again, rear cross path detection. It even has emergency evasive steering. So this car is pretty much loaded to the gills with every advanced safety system. So one of the things I always heard was luxury buyers would not like electric cars. Obviously, Tesla disproved that. But I think what they were talking about is more of, the high-end Mercedes, high-end Rolls Royces, Bentleys, those kinds of customers. And I think that's total nonsense. Because I think people buy those cars because they want an absolutely silent, serene riding and driving experience, whether you're behind the wheel or sitting in the back seat and chauffeur to your plane. And nothing does that better than an electric car. It is pretty much dead silent when you start it, dead silent when you glide away, and dead silent when you step on the accelerator when you're on the highway. And I've spent a lot of time driving this car this week. I've got several hours on the interstate, curvy roads going to a state park. I'm driving through city traffic over a rough pavement. And no matter what, this car has been an absolute delight to be in. So let's start with the range. This is the 450 Plus, so it's the rear drive variant, which I like too. It kind of lightens the car up a little bit. And this has rear wheel steering. It actually turns the wheels 10 degrees, so it sharpens those corners. You can park this car so easily. I mean, again, it's a big car. It's an S-Class size car. Easy to park it. And when you're in the curves, it just sachets back and forth just as easily as you want. So I love that part about it. But being an electric car and being the 450h, you get really good range. Mercedes claims 352 miles range after you charge it. I think that's really on the low side. My experience and others that have used this car, routinely over 400 miles range driving the car. The other day when I started it up to go to the state park, I was showing 420 miles range on the indicator. So you can drive this car pretty much, if you live in a state of Indiana, you can pretty much drive anywhere in the state and back home again and probably make it on a charge. And it didn't seem to matter much if I was on the highway running 70, 75, or if I was driving through city traffic. The range seemed to be pretty similar. So I'm really impressed with that. Charge times are not bad on this car either. You think a big battery is going to take a while to charge it, and it's true. If you do it on a DC fast charger, you're going to get to 80% in 31 minutes. But I don't think that's terrible, especially given that you got 400 miles to play with. If you do this on a 240 volt charger at home or at work, you're looking at about 11 and a half hours to fully charge the vehicle. So none of these numbers are bad at all. I think they're quite good for what this car is. It's also a pretty quick car. I mean, 0 to 60, 5.8 seconds. You step on it, and if you've never driven an electric car, it is instant torque, instant power right now. There's no revving of the engine. There is no shifting down. It is you hit the accelerator and the car starts moving. So it's just an absolutely dreamy experience as far as that goes. The other thing that Mercedes has done in this car is the dynamic selector here. So you can put it in sport mode. I kept it in comfort mode most of the time. And what I really like about the comfort mode is it's a very traditional Mercedes ride. I used to think of Mercedes as almost being an iron sponge in the suspension. It was controlled, but it just settled on the road, just soaked up everything. And that's what this is in comfort mode. It feels heavy. It is a heavy car. It's got the batteries low down the chassis, and it's a heavy car anyway, but it just feels heavy and settled on the highway in comfort mode. It has an air suspension, adaptive air suspension. So there's some electronics and some sophistication going on there too. It's not traditional suspension, but very well done. And the steering feels very comfortable, and the accelerator response is just what you expect to. This is the most traditional Mercedes setting. Sport mode starts to take on some of those AMG characteristics. The accelerator is a little more sensitive, the suspension's firmer, the steering's a little bit heavier, and the car responds better. You're also more likely to use up some of that range a little bit faster because the throttle response is just a little bit tighter. And then the other one is down here in Echo. And again, you got to put your foot down a little bit harder to get a response, but it's really designed to kind of prompt you to have to work to get this car to use power. And again, that's really to extend the range modes. So I kept it in comfort mode and loved it there. But overall, the car, people have been in the car, me driving it. It's just, most people would say this is probably the most quiet, comfortable car they've ever been in. And I think that's exactly what you expect from an S-Class. So pricing, as you might expect for this car that really is a next generation S-Class, is very S-Class. So the EQS starts at $1,044, so a little over $100,000. But again, if you go price it against the gasoline-powered S-Classes, you'll find that's very comparable. This one, with everything it has on it and some of the features on it, $115,000. Again, that is not a cheap car by any means. But if we're talking about cars that rank among the best in the world, that's very reasonable for what it is. Well, next week we'll have another fun car. And until then, storm forward.